I am going to recite a transmission from the Arcturians today. I know I don't always do just straight up channeling videos, but this one seems specifically relevant to the astrology that we've got shifting at the moment. And as I've been asking all these questions of these different collectives, how do we shift the planet to this brighter future? How do we do the work in ourselves? How do we help to the best of our ability? What are all these different collectives' perspectives on how to manifest the best new earth possible? Since I've been asking this question, sometimes information comes up that's really specific to right now and what we're being invited to move through. And with those particular messages, I do feel that it's important to put them on video so that they can reach as many people, so that as many people are as powered and empowered to take action on this, or to at least get validation within themselves of what they're already doing and the path that they're on, and their intuitions about what their role in this revolution is are correct and accurate, and that it is all okay and going to plan. So this morning I saw 133 absolutely everywhere. It was just every surface, every time, every percent, every whatever. It was all 133, and that's my code from the Arcturians. That's how they tell me that they want to talk to me, that they're in my presence. And then a bunch of other confirmations, as well as watching a video where someone offhandedly said, you might think there's an Arcturian in your ear. There is, and I was really drawn to this shade of blue today, which is a very Arcturian color. So yeah, now I'm looking at the clock and it's 3:13. So yeah, Arcturian's definitely still here with me. Even after I wrote all of this up, I was channeling and auto writing. Even after I wrote all of this up, the Arcturian didn't leave when I said goodbye. I said, okay, thank you so much. Starting to get a headache, time to close my channel down. And then they went, oh, you're gonna call us back. And I realized it's because they might want to add something just as I recite for you guys what I wrote down, and I might give some asides. Oh yeah, and also I cut my own hair. Got this cute pimple going super grey, so I get to live as the crone and the maiden and the mother all at the same time. You get to witness me having my phases. Okay, so this is from an Arcturian collective. They've titled it Hear Your Heart, and they explain why. And they're telling me that we're speaking through code 133, which is initiation, 133, mastery, and that all adds to 7, which is a representation of Father God consciousness, connection to the universe. And I am far from the first person to channel that Arcturus and that star system is representative of that Father God consciousness energy, rather than a more yin or maternal expression of that. And it's not either or, but generally they are very creative and advanced action taking, interfering kind of civilization. I mean that with love in a positive way. Okay, this is what they say. The density we are communicating to you from is a result of the density that you can meet us at. When you are resonating closer to 7D, or the 7th density, if you were to break it all up into a spectrum, then our message filters down from the 9D and becomes audible or readable on a 7D plane of consciousness. So when I was tuning in, I wanted to ask, are you an individual Arcturian? Are you a collective? If so, what density are you from? And without even thinking out loud that whole question, they started answering it for me, because that's the way telepathy works. It's a big payload, it's a big data drop, everything comes at once. You don't have to consciously think a sentence in your head for them to hear it, which is why you might just get a blip of a question and they answer it straight away before it's even fully out of you. So they're saying basically they're at this very, very high level of consciousness, but we can hear it filtered through all these other densities, and however close we can meet them at that density, basically the more pure or the more integrity that translation of that energy is or has. When you're in the higher states of love, then our message more potent and exclusively loving becomes available to you. You are experiencing this transmission as waves of love, joy, and excitement flowing through your body, which is what I was feeling as I was writing. Still feel like the presence around me. At the 70 level, you feel the blue light and sense a distinctly Arcturian texture of presence that you have come to associate with us. But when you feel our 9D expression, we are less distinguishable to you from other 9D collectives of consciousness, including Lyrans, Pleiadians, angels, and so on. So basically saying when you do get to that really high level, things aren't as separate. It might be harder to work out if it is Arcturian or not. So I really appreciated that clarification. The title of this transmission is Hear Your Heart, because we understand that as a species that is represented as intellectual and technologically advanced by millions of years compared to Earth, we have much to illuminate for you to understand the intellect of the heart and the ways in which we are heart-directed and heart-oriented in all that we do. So there we go. They're basically saying, as the scientists of the galaxy, we feel that we have a lot to tell you about how the heart is such an important part of that, and basically trying to dissolve those binaries between, logic and love, or reason and feeling. They're saying it's all the same intelligence. Do we have hearts? Not in the same way that you do, but we do have a heart center, which is a concentration of loving feeling that ensconces our body and being like an aura of intense loving feeling. We experience the feeling of love at every point within and around this aura, and it is constantly calibrating the energies around us and through us. When you pray to us, or we tune into you, we feel the pitch of your feeling move through this heart center, through this aura, and we retune to a consistent potency of love when we are with ourselves. So they feel our energies and our feelings move through them like a current, but they can reset and retune back into that loving feeling. Our ability to reset to love is developed and is the skill of your true ascended masters. So they learned it, or it can be learned. Also, the way in which your energy transmits through our system creates a sort of filtration process. Just as the way that smelling a pear means that the particle of that pear has entered your nostrils, so too do your different bodies, energy body, emotional body, mental body, and so on, move through us. This is why interactions with us feel so uplifting, healing, and loving. We are cleaning your systems and brushing up against you with the frequency of love as we interact. And this is the case even across galaxies. To surround yourself with loving beings is to become more like them, and likewise, to reorient yourself continually into the frequency of love is to lift and heal others around you. Think of your friends and family with love, and flush them with love as you do so. This is a completely natural process that requires little attention from you. Your job, your only job, is to familiarize yourself with the feeling of love until it is a natural neutral point for your being. So they're saying that we're already doing this. When we think of somebody lovingly, we're moving their energy through us and flushing it with love. Like, that's just naturally what's happening. You don't need to visualize that in a special way for that to naturally be the point. So when you behold somebody non-judgmentally, basically what you're doing is just allowing like a neutrality or even a loving feeling to flush through them with them. And I don't know to what extent that is, if it's a piece of them or just something from within your experience of them that works, but either way, apparently that's something that works really effectively. And this goes really well with this idea that I have about the way that we behold someone without expectation is actually liberating them to be all that they can be, like Schrodinger's cat. The idea is that until you expect something to be a certain way, it does not exist. It's just all scattered in the infinite field of possibility. And then when you think I'm going to walk around the corner and I'm going to see the street as I always see it, then all those particles take the shape of that street as you go around. But in theory, if we were expecting to see something else when we went around the corner, those particles would arrange themselves in another way. Obviously, this works on a lot of different levels of consciousness, but basically the idea is that if we don't expect anybody to be a certain way or act a certain way, or for any job or task or experience to be a certain way, then we free it up to take another shape and to take another form. So that's my understanding through this more, consciousness and expectation creating reality around us way of thinking. But the Arcturians are, what I understand is very much a similar process, but it's through the heart. It's like when you experience someone with love, you heal them and you bring them closer to a frequency of love by doing that with them. I find that very, very beautiful. Oh, I lost my little page. Here we go. Okay. Where was I? Your heart is in the process of healing many things in people. It is normal for you to notice dis-ease and the systems, mental systems, emotional systems, energy bodies, etc., moving through you. We Arcturians allow ourselves to notice these energies of a lower frequency without attaching to them. We do not highlight or lean into those feelings. We watch them move through our hearts, allow the natural filtration system to take place as we hear the transmission, and then reset to love. You all always have this option to reset to love, which is especially easy to do when you recognize that your feelings and thoughts are not all your own, and that experiencing those feelings and thoughts at all was not an unnecessary burden upon you, but a healing gift from you to the universe. So I take quite a lot away from this. One is that we don't need to completely get rid of all the bad feelings. We can just observe and detach, which is a very Buddhist approach as well, which I like and can get on board with, but also not seeing the experience of that as a burden. And I know I fall into that trap before of thinking like, oh, I'm an empath, I get to feel everybody else's feelings for them and the collective feelings. But instead just go, okay, this is something that I've agreed to do, that I can heal as I experience it, and I can heal it through detachment or love. And that I have the option to just let it move straight through me. And the more I allow it to be and don't judge it, the faster it's going to move through and the faster I can reset back into my place of love. Okay. And then they say, to take on the energy of others, we must say can be challenging, especially when you are still learning how to reset to your own neutral, your own baseline. Therefore, we encourage every person to become very well acquainted with their own hearts. When you are in the perfect silence of a moment, whether there is audible sound or not, but the silence, the peace of a moment, where is your heart? How does it feel? Who are you? Do you have thoughts at all? When you know yourself, when you can hear your own heart, then you can command your body, all bodies, back to neutral. You can simply let the outside energies continue to move and move out of you as they will want to do naturally. And then you re-experience yourself as a contained expression of love. While we say contained, we do not mean that you are separate or individual in your bubble of love. What we mean is that when you experience yourself as uninfluenced by outside energies and are stable within yourself, then you are naturally connected to the life force of all that is. You are naturally channeling source energy. What this source is, we cannot define. We only know that it is the brightest potency of energy in the universe, that its power and concentration is seemingly infinite, and that the more of this energy we realize as us, the more we experience ourselves as one with everything. This is to say that to isolate from outside energies and go within is in practice a way to be more connected to each and every being. So it seems like you're saying, go away everybody, I'm going within, but everybody is inside you. So they're saying you're connecting to that that knowingness that we're all connected rather than playing out the spectacle of separation. When we go within, we speak only to the truest expression of every being, which is blended with source. To rather engage with a being as a discrete voice beyond our own, to engage a person as a linear series of events and feelings, then we're taking just a fragment of them and playing the illusory game of separation. So basically, it's like getting this finger to talk to that finger instead of seeing us all as one being, right? We're playing a game. Okay. Then they point out that both perspectives, so the perspective of going within and seeing us all as connected, but also playing out the drama and the theatre of talking to another human being as a separate person, for example, saying both perspectives are important and make up the whole of existence. You have the capacity to be amphibious. You can be in source and love within yourself, within the whole of the universe, and you can be present with another, experiencing them as separate to you and interfacing with you, and heal them and love them as the other. So we can have this loving experience where we see a divide between us, and we can have the loving healing experience of that sense of oneness and the saying, it's both, it's everything. All of this is to say that your heart is connected to all that is. Your heart understands the universe and the truth of it far more than any physical technology, be it a quantum computer, a human brain, or an Arcturian brain. The brain can do much, but on its own, it cannot be omnipotent. Only the heart is you. The heart is everything. Literally. You have heard many people and channels on your planet remind you that love, joy, excitement, compassion, gratitude, forgiveness are all positive feelings that bring the heart into its highest resonances and manifest more of the natural state of the universe, which is abundance, health, ease, and happiness. And this is true. We are now going to add to this framework and explain to you the ways in which the heart is its own brain and the ways that it connects to the collective consciousness of your entire planet to manifest a new reality. This is the Astro update. Now, it is synchronicity that these words are being heard as the North Node moves into Pisces. The North Node shows us our potential, the area for the most growth because it is uncharted territory for our soul. The South Node shows overdeveloped qualities that are wanting to be brought into balance by its opposite and sister sign in the North Node. So the North Node's opposite, the South Node is always the opposite sign. So if you have Capricorn North Node, then you've got a Cancer South Node. At the moment, the Earth has Pisces in the North Node and Virgo in the South Node. Okay. North Node in Pisces leads us inwards, and like Pisces rules the 12th house, which is again about meditation, God, oneness, going within. North Node in Pisces leads us inwards to the place where everything exists. God, however you know them, lives within you. Oh my gosh, and yeah, of course the number 12 as well, like 12 times 12 is 144, so it's that sense of like completion, wholeness, every corner of the universe coming together. Cool. 144 waking up, sweet. South Node in Virgo asks us to let go of our perfectionism, let go of formulaic or pedantic ways of managing the world around us. So it's the overdeveloped qualities of Virgo that we're letting go of. What happens as you realize your personal North Node, your natal chart though, is basically the South Node energies end up blocked for you for a while. So for example, I'm South Node Gemini. So I'm like really gifted at English, like I was very like charming and could tell tales and whatever as a kid, and then I would start gossiping and I would just get caught out in every single lie, and it was so hard for me to be popular. Like, I ran for school captain in primary school, and like even though I was doing all the things, I think I just got like absolutely no attention, because I'm supposed to go into that Sagittarius energy, which is like going within, caring about who I am, finding the teacher within, not performing, being as authentic as possible. And what happens is when you reach that North Node potential, or you heal that, or you activate it within yourself, then the south node gets brought back online. So for example, like I stop caring about what people think about me, and then all of a sudden people care what I think. You know, it's that dynamic. So as we go inwards and realize that God is within us and we really embrace all that Pisces energy, then the healthier expression of Virgo comes online for us as a collective in this next 18-month cycle of the North Node in Pisces. So the Arcturians say, they're saying, look at us working together, Kelly. Together in balance, the Pisces and the Virgo energy, we understand that outside action and inner yielding are the same thing. One energy initiates the other naturally. This is why when you take a break, rest and experience inner peace, do inspired steps eventually follow. To be okay with the world is to change the world. And again, they're talking about like actual rest, like when you really let go and you're like, whatever, I don't care anymore, or like it's all good, it's all perfect, I'm on my holiday. Or I don't know if you're like me, like I took maternity leave and went, that's it, I'm not doing any work. And after about a week, I went, oh, I have so many ideas and I'm going to start working again. So I think that's what they're talking about there, actual rest. That surrender, that everything's okay, I don't have to do anything. That then you suddenly want to start doing something. You are aware of the discordant energies in the collective of your planet. You are aware that there is suffering and chaos, both lived and imagined. Fully accept that this expression needed to happen. Accept that there is nothing you have to do about it and nothing that can be done about it through thinking about it harder and harder or feeling sadder and sadder. Disconnect and observe. The thoughts and feelings and energies will flow through you. Allow them to keep flowing. Take a deep breath and observe gently with the energy of surrender. This might feel like acceptance, peace, disinterest, love, or even apathy. The passive witnessing is what keeps the energy flowing on its way out of your system again. So just observe, watch it leave as quickly as it came. And yes, love can and does exist alongside other emotions too. You can witness pain, experience pain, and still feel love. So basically, I heard them saying this as a counter to any excuse that you can't do it because you're too sad. Like, I'm too sad, I'm in too much pain, I'm too angry, I couldn't possibly feel love. Like, I can't shift into that right now. And they're saying, actually, you can feel love at the same time as all of those feelings all the time. You know, think about like the love you feel after childbirth, holding your child in your arms and you're absolutely blasted with pain and hormones and fear and all of the feelings, but you still feel profound love, right? Same as like when you're angry, sometimes when we feel very protective of someone, you know, like, excuse me, I'm making all these motherhood references, but parenthood really cracks you open, doesn't it? You know, you get that like wolf mother energy of like, I will murder anyone who comes near my babies, right? Like that's love and anger, like they're existing side by side and they're blending into a new color. And they're saying you can feel it all at once. You can still shift into love. You can always feel love and feed that. Okay. Okay. Gently continue to shift your feelings towards love and allow it to ensconce you. This heals a small portion of the collective energy, but more than that, it heals your attitude towards and your relationship with collective energy. These feelings transmit to all of your cells, bodies, and to the other this message. So basically, when you're able to feel all that ickiness and still feel the love there, you're sending this message of reprogramming yourself and your relationship with others that this is okay. I am okay. We are all ultimately okay. This effect is very real and is witnessed from beyond your planet. This practice alone is immense in that it immediately shifts you and the planet into different timelines. When you can stabilize your okayness and reorient into love as potently and often as possible, then you'll be able to lay down your tools and rest properly. Your inspired action will arrive precisely when you are rested. that is the timing of your inspiration, precisely when you are rested. To spend hours, days, weeks, months, years, or even lifetimes without rest and with an aching sense of responsibility is to be troubled and to continue experiencing the universe from that plane of reality, i.e. a troubled universe. Only when you see yourself as deserving of rest and as rested do you enable yourself to volunteer in a way that speaks directly to the peace of the universe. Remember, the universe is made of love, and we are always that frequency of love within and beyond. To see through loving eyes and rest in loving arms is to eventually generate the yang, or masculine or physical, energy to create more love. So it's that paradox, right? Everything has to be okay for you to make it okay. This is why your friends and gurus are telling you to feel good. Abraham Hicks immediately came to mind. And Bashar. Honor your heart as if she is the entire universe herself, because she is. We hope that this transmission has gone some way to explain the energy cycles of the heart and the way that loving detachment from others allows you to reach those others on a more profound and honest level. This is how you shift your planet. The next shift lies within the next beat of your heart. With all our love, the Arcturians. Cool. Well, I hope that went some way to validating the journeys that you're all on. My name is Kelly. You can check out my website, Patreon, upcoming development programs, all of that stuff in the comments and descriptions. If you're interested in hearing more channeled messages, I can do that because I'm channeling all the time anyway, though I do totally get that sometimes it's more fun to like hear the human, you know, like sometimes I want to go like, all right, Daryl Anchor, like you channeled all this wisdom, but how do you feel? Like, are you buying it? Like, are you enjoying this? Do you feel okay? Like having that human to human experience is still really fun, but we can do all of the things. Okay. Thank you everyone. Much love. Have a good day.